بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم أعزائي طلاب مدارس المناهج الأهلية الصف الأول الثانوي في درس جديد من دروس التعلم عن بعد. In the English language, our lesson today is 4D. It's a reading 1. Your student book page 54. Today we will study 4 exercises. Exercise A, B, C, and D. Okay, let's start. The title of our lesson is Way of Life. The way of life is the pattern or way of life in an area or the behavior of a person or a group of people in a country, in a city, in an area or a specific area. 1. Reading. Discuss. Question number 1. What do you know about Alaska? Can you tell me about Alaska? If you can, try to think, what do you know about Alaska without looking at the answer which you have here? Okay, can you think of that? Okay, look here with this information. It's a simple information about Alaska. Alaska is the largest state by area in the United States, but compared to other states, it has the least population. Population here, the number of people who live in it, the number of people who live in a country, in a city. It's situated, it's placed in the northwest of North America. The highest recorded temperature here is, how hot is it or how cold is it? Was 38 Celsius. And the lowest was minus 62 Celsius. That means it's extremely cold. Here we will have some vocab, some words and definitions which will help us in understanding the meanings or the text which we are going to read and listen. Okay, we will start now the words and definitions. Population, the number of people who live in a country. Okay. Inupiat, a group of people who live in Alaska. Natives. Natives here means السكان الأصليين. Some people who was born and raised in Alaska. Definitely impress. Definitely impress means surely. Definitely here means surely. Be admired and respected by the traveler. He's talking about Alaska and when you visit it. Spectacular landscape. Spectacular, as we studied in lesson 3C, means amazing, interesting, fabulous. Spectacular landscapes means amazing, beautiful nature. The second slide. Unique climate. Unique here means one of its kind. فريد من نوعه. ليس له مثيل. Unique is one of its kind, and climate is, what does it mean, climate? Climate is the typical weather in an area. There is no climate like it. He's talking about Alaska, unique climate. Inhabitants, the people who live there. سكان. Culture, the way of life that people in an area live. How do they live? The way of life there. Village is a place that's smaller than a city with less facilities, less malls, less parks, less theme parks, and so on. Very close to. Very close to means not far away. Not far away means it's near. Constant daylight, the sun is always in the sky. Continuous daylight, شمس وضوء نهار مستمر. Rely on hunting. He is talking about population of Alaska, the people who live in Alaska, inhabitants of Alaska. They rely on hunting. What does it mean, rely on hunting? Rely on means depend on, يعتمد على. Depend on catching animals and fish. Prey. The animals they hunt. Prey here means فريسة. Member. Each one of a group, a team, society, and so on. For example, I am a member in the school or the football school team. Community. Community means the group of people that live an area. Community here means مجتمع, like society. Now, before starting to read and listen to the text which we have on our student book page 54, we have some questions which are in your student book page 55. I want you to read the questions well and try to find the answers while reading and listening for the text, okay, or to the text. Question number 1. What does Alaska offer visitors? What can visitors get in Alaska? What can Alaska present to the visitors here? Number 2, where do Inupiat people, the people who live in Alaska, okay, they are a group of people who live in Alaska. People live, where they exactly live, in the north, west, and so on. 3, why is the weather in Alaska unusual? The weather here is about the weather, the sun, is it sunny, cloudy, rainy, and so on. Question number 4, what do Inupiat people eat? Question number 5, what happens when Inupiat people catch a whale? A whale here means hoot. Now, open your student book page 54, look at the text well, and try to follow while you are listening. Read and listen. If you have any difficult words, remember well that we had the word and the definition. Okay? Pay attention well to answer the questions. Start listening and follow by reading. Okay?
4D. Way of life. 1. Reading.
Alaska natives. Alaska, the largest state of the USA, will definitely impress the traveller with spectacular landscapes and a unique climate. But if you met the inhabitants, you would realize that Alaska offers more than just pretty views. It also gives visitors a fascinating opportunity to meet wonderful people and a culture very different from their own. One of the many peoples of Alaska are the Inupiat, who live in the north and northwestern areas of the state. Most Inupiat people live in small villages that have been around for hundreds of years. Others live in larger towns, like Barrow, which is the most northern city in Alaska and the United States. In Barrow, temperatures can drop to minus 49 degrees Celsius in winter. Also, because North Alaska is very close to the North Pole, it is completely dark for more than 2 months in winter, and between May and August there is constant daylight. The Inupiat are peaceful people with a lot of respect for the environment and their traditions. Inupiat villagers rely on hunting and salmon fishing for their survival. Their prey is normally caribou, fish, especially salmon, and whales. While the men go hunting or fishing, the women either work or stay at home and make warm clothes for their family. Sharing is very important for the Inupiat, and when the men catch a whale, each member of the community will be given some. Alaska is a special place, and it makes visitors wish they could go back. Some say it's the land of diversity. One thing is for sure, You've never seen anything like it.
Now, I want you to stop the video, read the questions again, read the text, and try to answer the questions before our answers now. Please stop the video, read again, answer the questions. Okay? Okay. Compare your answers with these answers. Did you answer well? Question number 1. What does Alaska offer visitors? The answer is it offers visitors a pretty sight. Pretty sight here means pretty view, but also a fascinating opportunity to meet wonderful people and different culture. Okay, culture here is the way of life. Question number 2. Where do Inupiat people live? Where do they exactly live? They live in the north and the northwestern areas of Alaska. 3. Why is the weather in Alaska unusual? The answer, because Alaska is very close to the North Pole. 4. What do Inupiat people eat? They eat caribou, fish, especially salmon and whales. 5. What happens when Inupiat people catch a whale? They share it among all the members, all the people of the community. These are the answers of the questions. Now, did you answer well? How many questions did you answer right? Exercise C. Look at the highlighted words in the text and try to guess what they mean. Then match them with their meanings A to E. Then complete the sentences below with the correct form of the words. 1. Landscape. Landscape is the nature, countryside, water, mountains, which we have in a place. Inhabitant. Inhabitant is a person or people who live in an area. سكان. Rely. Rely on means count on, depend on, be responsible for. يعتمد على. Prey. Prey is an animal or fish that is hunted, that you catch or that is caught. Prey, فريسة. Community. Community here, a group of people living together. مجتمع. Okay. Use these words to complete the gaps or the spaces of the sentences below. 1. All the members, people of our space like the idea of a new park in the area. All the people of our, community. Number 2, I don't think you can space on George to get a job done. He is not very responsible. He isn't in charge of anything. You can't rely on him. You can't depend on him. You can't count on him. Okay? You can't count. So I don't think you can rely on here means depend on. لا يعتمد عليه. 3. Road trips are nice because they give you the chance to admire. Admire here means to look at something and think of it. Think how beautiful it is, how impressive it is. How to admire the beautiful, you admire the beautiful, landscape. Okay, you look at it and admire it. Number 4, the injured animals. Injured animals, the wounded one, couldn't run fast, so it's an easy space for the hungry lion. Easy prey. There are more than 2,000 spaces in this village. 2,000 in this village, people who live Yes, you are right. Inhabitants. Okay. Now we are going to finish our lesson with some exercise on the vocab which we studied in this lesson. Okay, to practice these vocab. Choose the correct answer. Scene took pictures of the beautiful space while Dad was driving. He took pictures for something he admired, something which was impressed. So the answer is, yeah, who can answer? Yeah, landscape. The answer is landscape, okay? The mountains, water, nature which we can look at and which we admire. Number two, the wolf carried its space. The wolf, it's an animal, okay? Carried its space to the other side of the forest before eating it. Straight, climate, or prey? Okay, it's prey. The answer here is prey, فريسة. Number three, a space is a group of people living in an area. People who live in an area. Travelers, traditions, community. The answer is community. مجتمع. Number four, space is killing animals for food. To kill animal, to have it as a meal for food. Okay, so this is called hunting, الصيد, catching. We can't space on Omar. We can't space on Omar. He is very lazy and isn't very responsible. He isn't in charge of anything. He doesn't do anything. You can't count on him. You can't depend on him. So depend on or count on means rely on. يعتمد على. بهذا أعزائي طلاب مدارس المناهج نكون قد أنهينا معكم شرح درس مديول 4D Reading. نسعد باستقبال أسئلتكم واستفساراتكم عبر القنوات الرسمية في جروبات الواتساب والتليجرام وفي لقاءنا زوم. تعليمنا مستمر بهمتكم. دمتم بخير. Thank you everybody. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.